love sweet God magnet. Lobsters and I don't you grab it. Welcome to Lobster Magnets Review, the channel to review. This is a first experiment.
Oh my god, it's been so long since I've seen you guys.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. We're like doing a review video right after the live reaction video. We're getting to the YouTube game of double dipping and like turning double the content out of one piece of content. We're the super laziest of content ever. But you know, that's how you win the algorithm wars. That's how you make a living at this shit. So guys, now that we had the big reveal and we did our fun voice acting, did you think?
Did you say you were double dipping, like William Minerva's double dipping in different dimensions of the human dimension and the demon dimensions?
For the next time, if we ever do one of these stupid reaction videos ever again,
what?
Greg and I should be the ones to read it first, and we can lord it over you.
You're never gonna win. You're never gonna win that race. You're never gonna win.
Right,
it's just not gonna happen.
You know what? If it ever comes up, Greg, I need you to try and like hold him back and force him. Like, I don't know. Can you just like unplug his Ethernet cable or something while we read this in advance, and then force him to do a reaction video?
I can't take his phone away too. He reads it on his phone.
You're not trying hard enough, okay? Look, I would do it my goddamn self, but I'm like multiple states away.
Yeah. Like you have no idea. Like I will take 5-minute bathroom breaks to like read my fucking manga. that is like how hardcore I am when it's out. But anyway, so what did you guys think of the big reveal? Now that we finally know the truth of this world.
Well, I actually didn't hate it.
I'm surprised you didn't. Well, here's my issue with it. I mean, it's not bad, but I feel like it takes away some of the charm and the appeal of the series. That, like, that we know that there are a bunch of humans that are just living hunky-dory in some sort of advanced or modernish civilization that just don't give a shit about the people they gave away to be like livestock. And like, to me, that like, I don't know, I like the idea that like humans were like fighting this like Terminator, Sarah Connor style resistance war against the demon overlords. I mean, I didn't mind the old timey stuff, but like to me that like kills like part of the appeal to me a little bit. I mean, it's not bad.
All right, I'll give you that. I was kind of like waiting for that Terminator, where like the giant hunter killer bot crushes a human skull, and then like a bunch of resistance fighters in a beat up pickup truck with a Gatling laser start fighting back. That would have been cool.
Just imagine the draft demons, and they're like like stalking people, and then you just have like a guy with an RPG who just shoots the draft demon. That would have been badass.
Okay, that would have been pretty awesome. But at the same time, I don't hate it. This could have gone a lot worse, and I do think it's an interesting concept. That's they're basically like cast-offs. And hey. We might actually still get that resistance, because remember, they said it's incredibly unusual to see humans outside of the compounds. Not impossible, so that there still could be people, who knows, maybe William Minerva in his infinite fucking planning bullshit capacity, the fucking light Yagami of this goddamn bullshit world, has come up with that resistance that you want. A bunch of poor schmucks that have managed who have been smuggled off the farms and are now like driving around in pickup trucks with RPGs. All right, hey, maybe along with those fucking 3DS and all that other outdated bullshit. Who fucking knows? Maybe they also smuggled in some like I don't know, Claymore mines.
Hey, by the way,
Man, your mic is just like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's like crackling up, and it's funny.
All right,
I got a little bit paranoid about if our sound was actually recording properly, because we haven't actually tested out how this audio is going to sound after it's like as between us and the Skype call. But
I think it'll be fine. Well, we won't know until a few minutes from now, but let's just assume it's good.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So, yeah, I didn't hate it. I also didn't love it at the same time. It was just kind of like, oh, you can't click out of that, by the way. That's like, you have to click here.
Oh, okay.
That's on the Skype window.
Alright, so keep going. So Greg, what did you think?
We need Jeopardy music for this.
God. Yeah, I kind of wish that it wasn't like separated between the two worlds. It wasn't like the humans are like kind of in a hunky-dory happy place in the one side, and the humans are just kind of like in this weird like hunted state in the demon world. So yeah, I don't like the idea of like a super safe haven from like this crazy outlandish world that they lived in.
Well, the one thing I do appreciate is that, like, we definitely got some decent payoffs, but, like, we still don't... There's still plenty of questions. Like, what's the human society like? Do they know about the humans that are over there? Or is there a political movement? Do they sort of accept it? Or is it something that's kind of, like, been phased out of memory? Like, you know, once they learn about these children, will they, like, you know, start a crusade and open up a new war against the demons?
I mean, I feel like that's the implication that... that's just kind of been phased out of memory, and the world we live in now is, in essence, the human world. So they just don't know about it, except for this one schmuck, this one all-knowing schmuck.
The good old William Minerva.
GPS pen and his probably self-published books. Some, like, small press operator is just, like, rolling their eyes up in their head, going, what the fuck is this rich old asshole doing?
Who is this self-publishing genius? You know, double dipping between these different dimensions.
But now I'm really curious. So, like, the demon...
That alliteration, Greg.
Do the demons have, like, modern technology? Did they like, make cars themselves? Because originally we assumed that they, like, took over the human world and they were using human technology. But we have that scene where, like, you know, the low-key Cockney demons are, like, you know, driving a car and a truck to, like, bring off the human girl off. You know,
which scene was that?
In the very first chapter. In the very first chapter, with the truck.
Oh yeah, the truck.
So, do the demons, like, you know, live in little towns? Do they have, like, modern technology? Do they have, like, little showers and like little YouTube videos and computers?
Okay, to further, like, continue my theme of I really want to spin off manga about the everyday banalities of being a demon in this world. I really want, like, a demon version of, like, NASCAR.
Of just them racing around.
Yeah, in little stock cars that don't quite fit their giant, like, hulking, unknowable bodies.
There's just like clown cars, kind of.
Yes, that is exactly what I want, Craig.
Clown car,
they're just like racing. They're just like super buff, and they're just like stuck in these tiny little fucking vehicles. Maybe we'll get that. There's still a lot of interesting things I want to learn about fucking demon culture. I want to see their fucking civilization. I want to see what they're doing. And it begs the question, so if, like, the Gracefield Farms is, like, the high-quality place, so does that mean it's, like, an open-range, like, chicken farm or cattle farm? You know, like a Whole Foods thing? And like, that maybe, like, Emma... Like, is this actually, like... Have you guys heard of the film Okja?
No.
It's a film from Bong Joon-woo. I can't pronounce his name very well, but he's a famous South Korean filmmaker who did The Host, and he also did Snowpiercer. And so it's like a Netflix exclusive movie, and basically it's like a very big criticism of the meat industry, where basically this girl, like, you know, raises this super pig, and then the company that's responsible for making the super pig takes it back, and it's like this kind of like very broad satire of, like, you know, multinational corporations as well as the activist cultures around them, since they have these like goofy animal rights activists who try to save the pig and try and reunite the girl, and you know, in the end, there's like the horrors of industrial farming. It's a kind of a wild film that goes to a lot of places. But I guess my point with it is, like, are we going to see, like, you know, an industrial human farm where, like, we just see all these children packed into, like, crates out in an open field where they're, like, nude and just wandering around bumping into each other?
Oh, that would be awesome. And it's like for like an hour every day, they're just kind of like packed into like a giant warehouse, and all of a sudden, like, Schoolhouse Rock start playing. To like make some cursory attempt at the education to make their brains so much tastier, and then just like turn it back out into another warehouse for feeding with cattle prods.
Well, like, if we're gonna assume that, like, you know, the humans have modern civilization and they're just all hunky-dory, then we have to assume the demons have modern civilization and they have this industrialized human thing from their ancient stock that they've been breeding. God, I wonder if they, like, pay attention to genetics to make sure that they don't inbreed it, because how many humans do you think they got for their initial starting breed?
Can't be that many.
It couldn't be that many.
I mean, you're right. I'm actually really surprised at the amount of, like, genetic variation we've gotten so far. I mean, there can't be that many people. Like, did they, like, extract, like, Man, that would actually be pretty interesting if they like extracted a certain number of people as like payment for the ratifying the treaty.
It's
from
kind
like
of
each country and each region that they were terrorizing before they like up and fucked off.
yeah, because we have seen like a variety of like different races in the.
Yeah, so like 100 people from each country or something like that. I don't know.
And probably the humans vice versa as well.
Like growing a third eye or something.
but the humans didn't really.
Apples have eyes or not.
The humans didn't really get much out of it. I mean, the humans got peace, I guess, but it feels like the demons are the aggressors. They were eating them, and it's like, oh, stop killing us because we're eating you.
Yeah. What the fuck did the people get out of this aside from that? It seemed like they were just like the last couple of pages kicking the ever-loving shit out of them.
Yeah. It's like, they can't fight. Oh, that's not fair.
Guys, okay. So the more I think about this reveal, I feel like it's a little bit. It feels a little bit lame, because for one, I kind of wish there was like a bigger, greater conflict. Overarching conflict between demons and humans.
Well,
but it looks like it's just straight up peace. He basically says nothing is really happened. Nothing's really going on. It's just like this is how it's always been.
Well, that's the thing, though. Because there's a lot of ambiguity, there's a potential for a larger conflict, assuming if the series, continues to gain popularity, that could be expanded for, several arcs. There's the question of, what do the humans on the side know? Are they willing to, sacrifice that piece for what they consider to be an outrage? Because assumingly, if most generations don't know, and, maybe only a set few of the elite know, I could see, people being kind of pissed off learning that, the entire generations of children are being raised in farms and being killed, and, that would be, piss off the humans, and then they go off and break the treaty with, and come in with, cyber tanks.
I mean,
okay, that might be cool.
Now we have, this new point in the constant game of is Promised Neverland going to suck chicken that we keep playing?
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, well, when does this turn into the self-insert otaku
fantasy?
Fantasy where some poor schmuck, some poor military otaku, cracked the portal into the Promised Neverland universe.
He's like, I'm gonna save all those children.
God, I'd almost love it if the series took this direction. Emma makes it over with the help, or William Minerva's this military otaku or something, who's really overweight, and he just has this fantasy of he thinks that all the waifus are being bred because they're super smart and they're the only ones who can appreciate his anime and military collection. So he's hoping.
I think this series at this point has proved itself smart enough that it's not going to be that bad.
No.
But I mean,
this definitely wasn't the cliff jumping that it could have been.
I mean, that is kind of the chicken that we're playing at this point. Is that could be really cool. Is if at the end of the series that portal finally opens up. That kind of Chekhov's gun situation finally goes off, and all of a sudden we have just swarms of angry UN troops with all the modern warfare kind of shtick flowing through this portal and meeting the unending horrors of weird giraffe demons who kind of get a manga Starship Troopers situation.
I feel like the demons would get slaughtered by human modern technology.
Well, we don't know the limits of what the demons can do.
I mean, we saw the secret anime sword, but besides that, what can they do?
Hey, that's just the people that are supposed to be rounding up stray humans. Maybe the demons have assault rifles too. You don't know, Greg. You don't know.
Well, one interesting thing is that maybe the demons actually do have some sort of magical powers, and humans have technology, so we can get a magic versus technology battle, kind of like what Brian K. Vaughan does with Saga, with the two sides of the moon people using magic, and then the wing people having technology. So that could possibly be, but TBD, to be determined. There's definitely possibility for that.
So you guys not bothered by there's there isn't like an overarching like struggle right now between humans
Well,
and demons?
the thing that bugs me that I said before is that like I don't like the idea that like humans are fine and that they have a whole huge civilization. So I guess that kind of bugs me. But what I do like is that there is like potential for future story arcs and like a bunch of humans in like Humvees breaking down. Like I'm just imagining there's a giant wall and that's what like separates the human and the demon world or something like that. As opposed to a portal, and then they just like blow through, and then they're fighting draft demons. I would be in full support of that. That to me is like interesting enough that I would love to see that.
Yeah, because at the very least, we figured out that the demons are either, for whatever reason, hidebound enough to respect this treaty, even though for whatever reason they could totally go eat literally all the humans, and I don't think that's the case. Or B, that these demons have enough respect for modern technology to just kind of look at it and go, yeah, I don't want to fuck with that. yeah, just give me your cheap 3DS, man. That's great. And how about a Polaroid camera? Can we get one of those too?
Can I get a picture of Paris as well? Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Just whatever you do, don't shove an IBC
ICBM
yeah, through that portal and kill us all.
What would kind of be like...
I feel like at some point the demons are like, why should we respect you? And then I just have this image of, I don't know, Nixon seems right for this. Just like rolling a video of one of like the nuclear explosion tests going, so, you really want to go with that? And sure, let's say he has a head in a jar for this one too.
It'd be like the other side is like the Futurama version of
be on our side of the wall.
Human world.
That's cool, bro. Just can we have a 3DS?
Hey man, we like eating you, but like we don't like we like our space respected, man. So just you keep it cool. We'll eat what you gave us, and everything will be cool, bro. Just stay on your side, man.
Please don't flood our cities with chlorine gas, please.
God, I wonder, like, there's a scene in Hunter x Hunter which, like, any other mangaka doing it would have come off as, like, really pretentious and dumb and stupid, where, like, basically, the main Hokage of the Hunter universe kills, like, the Hunter's version of Cell. He looks like Cell, he's like a super ant monster, and, then there's a part where, like, it looks like he's gonna die, and he says, "Never underestimate the malice of humans!" And he has, like, this bitchin' thing, and he launches...
stabs his own heart with his hand, and launches this huge nuclear bomb in his... attaches in his heart.
Yeah, as he's about to lose, he, like, blows himself up in a huge nuclear explosion that annihilates the king. And he's like, never doubt the... So I'm just wondering if there's going to scene of, like, the demons, like, we have this sad demon who's, like, crawling and he's, like, bleeding, and then he's just, like, being hunted down by U.S. Marines, and he's like, we may eat people, but our savagery never equals what's capable by the humans.
And then you start curb stomping him, and that's the end of the series.
yeah, that's the end of the series. That's the end of it.
Yeah, it's like, Christ, it's what was that terrible Romero movie?
Diary of the Dead.
that long shot where like the zombie starts crying tears of blood, and I finally like lost all respect. It was a filmmaker.
Oh God.
We could get that.
Yeah, like,
I tried to erase that movie completely from my memory.
The real monster.
Come on, why do we have to recollect this movie?
Yeah.
Fucking Amish versus zombies. We don't need that.
And I feel like we should watch that again at some point in a stream. And
do like a live comment. Some people do that. They do live commentaries.
Years ago did that come out? We could do like a 10-year anniversary or something.
It was long. It came out when we were in college. So it was like either 2008 or 2006, one or the other. I think it was 2008.
You and Scott can do this.
You don't want to do a follow-up with the land or the one where the zombies zombies fight cowboys, or cowboys fight zombies, or there's a cowboy zombie?
I'll be like drawing on my tablet.
I think one second thought that's a terrible fucking idea. We should just avoid that video.
All right, so guys, what are your ratings for this chapter? We should wrap this up.
I'm gonna have to give it a 6.5.
Really, Greg? I'm
Really?
surprised.
Man, usually you're the generous one here.
I know, but I don't see. I wish there was like a bigger conflict, but the only thing I could see maybe being potentially interesting is that Emma has to sort of consciously break the truce between humans and demons in order for her to get the children to safety.
Well, remember, now we know what the Promised Neverland is, and now the Promised Neverland is the human world.
Yeah,
that's a good point. All right.
I'd give it an 8. It was a decent enough reveal. It wasn't bad. There was a part of me that, it's sad to see my, Terminator John Connor fantasy ruined of, just humans, fighting in this guerrilla resistance against the demons versus, being completely content through some portal or wall or whatever. But it still leaves enough ground where there's enough questions that to be answered. It gives us a decent payoff, and there's lots and lots of elements for really interesting future conflict that could, come and keep the series going for a while. So, but there's a part of me that's sad that we're not going to get humans and Humvees.
What kind of future conflict?
Tons. There's the fact that what do the humans know? What will they do when they react to Emma and Ray making over the human world? What is the political situation like for the humans? How will they react to knowing that there's still humans, being eaten by the demons? Will that restart a larger war? What would a larger conflict look like? Between humans and demons, them fighting each other.
And will anyone ever cut off that fucking cowlick?
Yeah. So Scott, what would you rate it?
I'll split the difference with you. I'll give it a 7.5. This isn't the worst thing I've ever seen. I kind of agree with Greg. This isn't quite what I hoped for, but hey, the series has time and time again managed to dive out of that fucking oncoming train just at the nick of time, and deliver something cool. So I'm willing to stick with it.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a jumping. It has not nosedived the series. I guess part of maybe our spoken disappointment is that we wanted something that was so cool and bitching and awesome that would we'd be our minds would be blown, and we could sort of see this huge universe expanding.
I kind of want to see humans in a very desperate situation against the demons, more desperate.
I'm still hoping for that Terminator style desperation move, but just with humans that have escaped from the farms, and the bigger opening conflict and the expanding of the world is these plucky young asshole children meeting up with them, conducting brave and daring raids against the demons in an attempt to rip this portal open so you get your cool Terminator style post-apocalyptic nightmare fuel.
Why do you think it's a portal so much, though?
I don't. Because you saw the panel. You saw that weird wall go up between the two, and it's obvious.
I gotta look at it again.
It obviously, at least to me, doesn't feel like it's the fucking Berlin Wall or any bullshit. It literally feels like they sectioned off their realities. At least that's kind of where it felt like it was going.
That's an interesting interpretation. It'll be interesting to see if you're right about that. For me, it just feels like it's a giant wall. You can almost say this is Game of Thrones, and Emma and Ray are little wildling children who are in a White Walker farming camp, and now they want to get across the wall to the kingdoms of Westeros.
I mean, we'll see, but
very
I still
appropriate.
It's literally.
Comparison.
If you've seen Stranger Things, they're living in the Upside Down.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I
still
haven't seen
basically
Stranger
what I think
Things
is going on. Is they're living in the Upside Down, and so you get this crazy post-apocalyptic band of humans that have escaped the farm and are living in this hostile, unfriendly universe. And when we see the world start to expand is when they figure out how to breach into our world.
That could be it, because we still yet to see if the demons are a cult or if they have like some sort of supernatural magic energy or whatnot, or what their deal is. That's to be determined, and it could still be like a technology versus magic superstition battle that might see the series devolve into, which would still be interesting. And so far Emma and Ray don't have superpowers, so that's also an encouraging thing, unless the demons like teach them how to use energy magic or some bullshit.
God, I almost hope. I still.
Where do you guys think the series is going to go right here right now?
They're going to learn some shit from the demons, like dangers of the forest. They're going to get out. They're going to go to a new environment. Maybe they'll meet some people who are connected to William Minerva, because this arc is called The Search for William Minerva. So they got to go to that coordinate and find William Minerva's little base.
Yeah, pretty much. I basically just see them getting like a rundown on the ecology of the forest and how to avoid demon patrols and all that good bullshit.
And so William Minerva's probably going to have some knowledge on how to break the barrier.
Possibly, yeah.
And he's going to need the children's help in order to do it, right?
Maybe we'll get a His Dark Materials moment when he'll have to like kill Ray, separate his soul to harvest the energy. And it's
no. It's going to be one of the less useful children, maybe Phil.
Yes.
Would you be happy?
There gotta be some more child sacrifice.
Would you be happy with that? That actually would be a decent twist. Would you be happy with that, Scott? If like William Minerva like wants to murder or successfully murders one of the small children to like break the barrier?
Okay, that would be pretty fucking awesome.
Okay. I would be pleased with this. This would please me.
Would that make it a 11 out of 10 series, best thing ever?
Child for like an entire chapter. I will accept child death in the form of human sacrifice.
That would be pretty entertaining. All right, so what do we want to show? What do you think is appropriate? You know what? Let's do some Stranger Things merchandise, right? Because we think this might be Stranger Things.
Yeah, all right.
Buy the Stranger Things Funko Pops. Buy 11.
Yeah,
I know she's 11. She's a feminist icon. Maybe I'll get some other Stranger Things, a whole bunch of Funko Pops. They're kids. They're kind of like in the spirit of the Promised Neverland. Maybe we'll get a Promised Neverland Funko Pop. But, you may have 5 bajillion Funko Pops, but there's always that one Funko Pop that's, like, based on a brand that's, like, you think is kind of obscure, even though it's not obscure, because if it's, popular enough to get a Funko Pop, that means it's, like, kind of, like, reached a mainstream critical threshold. Fun fact, though, one last fun thing. At my old company, there was, like, the CEO was, like, on the line with Funko Pop, and he was, like, trying to negotiate to get a machete Funko Pop, and, like, the Funko Pop people were, like, telling him, like, trying to tell him politely that nobody gave a shit about Machete, and he's like, well, what if I told you Machete was coming back with a cartoon series, and we're Machete's, people love Machete, like, well, we assess every character to see if they have a relevant cultural presence, and, then we make our decision, but there's a cartoon, a Machete, it's gonna come Spike TV, it's any minute now, any day now, it's gonna happen. Okay, and if that happens, we will reassess Machete. It was
right. You could pick literally anything else.
That's so painful. It must have been so painful.
It was so painful. I loved every second of it. It was amazing to try and see, like, the master BS negotiator try and, like, weasel his way out of, like, a place that he could not weasel out of, which was the fact that Machete did not have that much of a cultural impact. All right, so thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We had a lot of fun with our live reaction as well as this good old dumb video. Buy Funko Pop Stranger Things. Yeah.
All right, yeah. I'm out.
Take it easy.
Lobster Magnet